Previously on the Amsoil Offshore Powerboat Racing Series.
These guys are independently wealthy, and this is what they do on their weekends. They don't fish, they don't golf, they go offshore powerboat racing.
You're constantly testing yourself against Poseidon.
Tragically, people die doing this sport. There's no question about it. It is dangerous.
Going a football field a second, you don't want to look down gauges for too long.
You learn in any piece of equipment what its ultimate capabilities are, and you learn where that line is, and you try not to cross that line.
As much as you feel like you're in control, you don't think the guy next to you is in control. And he's looking at you like you're not in control either. You're like, "Wah! Ah!" And now you got to turn.
I mean, if you get scared or nervous going in the first turn to decide, wow, we're just going to, race is over, you lose.
From what I've noticed from all the guys that are actually in it, you know, it's that you're just a tick off compared to the rest of your friends.
Yeah, we're in beautiful St. Clair, Michigan. We're here against the St. Clair River, which is unbelievably blue for this part of the country.
You can see Canada across the river. It's just really unique.
Being in Michigan is always a big hit. We got a lot of fans there. We got a lot of history there. You know, it's a special place.
It's probably one of our best attended events. Estimations somewhere in the 30,000 to 50,000 people range on Sunday to watch the races.
Well, the fans are gearheads. On the St. Clair River, it runs right through town, of course, dividing America and Canada. It provides for a perfect stage for, you know, at least a mile right down the middle of the town, and the boats are going right by you. What a race site.
Here in St. Clair, you know, it's a calm, high-speed race, right? There's no bumps really in the race course so much. It's not the ocean, it's not the Gulf of Mexico.
One thing that's unique about St. Clair is a clockwise course. So you're turning right instead of turning left. Most of our race courses, you know, we're going counterclockwise, so turning left. The trick is the current.
We're racing on a river. One way down that river, you have a 7-mile plus current. The other way, you have a 7-mile negative current. In the extreme class, the boats are capable of speeds in upwards of 200 miles an hour.
The current plays tricks on you. On the downriver buoy is where most of the instances happen on this course.
There's a notorious turn. It's turn 3 and 4 at the south end of the river.
The race course is built around a large sandbank in the middle of the river.
This side here, we've got about a 6.5 mile an hour current going up. This side's going to be the same coming down. This is a sandbar sitting in here, and the current comes down on both sides, sweeps together in here. When you're heading down the Canadian side in St. Clair, the current's running at 8 knots. The guys will come in a turn and not compensate for that current.
When you get down to that bottom turn and you come into that turn at 100 miles an hour, now the current is actually taking you away from the turn.
If you're not planted and you don't have your rudder or your skegs in the water coming around there, and that pushes your nose, once that nose goes, there's no sense of, you can't recover. And when they oversteer and they start to hook or slide, that's when it's all over with. Once you go sideways in a boat and the chine, that's where the hull and the bottom meet. Once that chine hits, it just flips you right on over. I mean, there's no recovery then, because your rudders are out of the water, your props are out of the water, and it's up on its side. You've got no steering, it just flops it. It'd be just like the black ice.
Next on the Amsoil Offshore Powerboat Racing Series.
I always wanted to be a superstar.
Jimmy Winters, very colorful character.
We're gonna have to run our ass off out there because I am not. Hey, I'm not losing to these dudes. Well, I guess I don't give a shit. How's that?
The Amsoil Offshore Powerboat Racing Series is brought to you by Amsoil. the first in synthetics. As the afternoon sun moves over the St. Clair River, team owner and throttle man Ed Smith of the Cleveland Construction Boat readies his team for the upcoming weekend.
I've been racing for about 13 years, and I have the green Talon boat called Cleveland Construction. I used to do motorcycles, cars, but when you're out on that water, you've got to really be on your game to do boat racing. And it's just, not everybody can go over 100 miles an hour in water. The water's actually hard. It's rock hard, but it changes. In a boat, it changes every second. You get a wave, or it's flat, or if another boat goes by you, the wash or whatever. I mean, it's constantly changing.
Driver and son Sean Smith talks about racing with his dad.
Can't think of anybody else I'd want to race in a boat with besides my dad.
My son used to work on the boat all the time, and I would never let him race with me because it is a very, very dangerous sport.
Just kind of helped out crewing, you know, washing the boat and going to the races and getting it in the water, doing all that kind of stuff. I just kept getting older and you know, wanting to get into the boat. You know, it was fun to crew and stuff, but the real fun, you know, is when the green flag goes up, right?
And his mother and I had a very highly heated conversation where she says, "You will not put my son in that boat." Sean turned around and he says, "You know, I'm tired of working on the boat, I want to run on a boat."
And I asked for my shot. I said, well, why don't you just give me one shot in it? And if I'm not very good at it, I understand. We went out and we won that race. And then we just kept doing races and just kept going further and further with it.
And he's a big boy. And I said, "You're going to race with me?" I says, "The father-son deal goes out the window at the start line. You will do what I tell you. Nothing more, nothing less." We crashed in Key West a year ago. Bad. If you get in a car wreck, you get banged up, but you don't drown. You throw that water factor in there, and when the boat sinks and you're in a 5-point harness inside that boat, if you get knocked out, you're done. I mean, that's the nature of the beast.
I came out of the boat and I didn't see him, but he was asking, I could hear him ask where I was. And then once he saw me, he settled down.
I was so afraid for him. I mean, I could care less what happened to me, but I was so afraid of losing him in that accident. Not being just so much as a teammate as being my son. I mean, I'd be devastated if I killed him. You would never be able to live with yourself. If you're not up front running, of course you're not on the edge, and if you're not on the edge, you're not going to win.
You got to find that balance point of where you can run stuff as hard as you can to win, because you don't want to go out there and just take second because you were a little nervous. But even sometimes in different races, when you come up on a real tight corner or you get something that's even close to that same situation, you kind of, you know, it flashes back to you a little bit. I'm not going to lie to you. It comes back, and anybody that says it doesn't has got to be lying. So you're a little bit more cautious. I mean, we do this for fun. We'd all like to do it for a living, but we all have to work on Monday, Tuesday morning.
I'm with him every day. He works for me, plus he races with me. It's good to have him around. I mean, it's something that, it's a bond that a lot of parents don't have with their kids.
Do I try to jump this thing and make a jackass out of myself? I wipe out? I'm just too damn old. I'm just too old. Now I'm gonna sweat my ass off because this freaking, Oh, what's up, Cupcake? Where's the love, baby? Oh, if you get any fatter, you won't be able to fit around here.
I just wanted to catch up to you.
You ain't never gonna catch up to me, handsome. Hey, brother.
As the Cleveland construction team relaxes by the wet pits area, another boat racer explodes onto the scene. He's none other than Jimmy Winters.
My name is Jimmy Winters. I had a family waste removal business in New York for a long time. Got real lucky and sold out, and I'm fortunate enough to be in a position where I don't have to work anymore. So I go boat racing. very, very competitive. I raced bicycles till like 11 years old, and then I just got too big, too fast, so I couldn't race bicycles anymore, so I raced motocross. And then I went to car racing. I did a little bit of snowmobile racing, and then I got to boat racing. So I don't know what I'm going to race next, but I want to try to get everything under the gamut before the show is over, hopefully.
Jimmy Winters, very colorful character.
I always wanted to be a superstar.
From day one, he made his presence known.
You are chunka-laka-munka.
You got to get jammed up listening to everybody's breath all morning.
I know. Did you ever smell his breath?
Winters discusses his thoughts on Murphy's Law.
You ever meet Murphy?
No.
Okay, me neither. But I want to. Because I had a few words for him, me and Murphy.
The team is plagued with complications before arriving in St. Clair, Michigan.
Murphy's Law, you know? Dude, it was bad, man. 3 hours on the tarmac. In a coach seat, no less. Imagine that? Can you imagine that?
I know.
And then this guy's next so funny, puts the seat back. I was like, yo, dude, what the You can't put that seat back. It's already on my knees. St. Clair has been not been very good tonight. I've had some bad spin outs. Last year, we got the side bashed in. Try the manual button. All right, try the low button. I'm getting ready to go, leave everything. And Chucky, he pulls around, and I'm like, what is this guy doing? He's not going to make this turn. Sure, not going to make the turn, but he shuts the truck off. Truck won't start. Maybe you got to hold 2 buttons or something? Try to turn it back on. It was just really telling me, dude, maybe you shouldn't be racing the boat, man. All right, let's take the hood down.
Should we try disconnecting the battery and let it reset?
Murphy's Law is coming after me. He's following me. You know, I was like, they don't probably air this stuff on the TV, though. So that was a whole cluster fudge for a little while.
I'm pretty damn frustrated myself. Hey!
I'm not kidding. Murphy's Law. I'd like to meet Murphy. If somebody could arrange that, I'd appreciate it.
Next on the Amsoil Offshore Powerboat Racing Series.
We're the second place boat every time.
And they've been running second behind Bob Teague for a long time. They haven't won a race yet.
It's always Teague and Paul Whittier, but they're tough.
That Saturday morning we did 1 or 2 laps and then kaput. The engine died. And with it, all my hopes died. I says, all this work just went down the tubes.
The Amsoil Offshore Powerboat Racing Series is brought to you by Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance. "24 hours till race day." Inside the dry pits of St. Clair, Michigan, another team gears up for the big race on Sunday, Team Phoenix Parts.
Ray Contreras is a successful businessman in New Jersey. He runs a parts company that supplies railroads with spare parts. And Harry is a drag racer from down in Alabama. And they've been running second behind Bob Teague for a long time. They haven't won a race yet.
It's always Teague and Paul Whittier, but they're tough.
We're the second place boat every time.
Bob Teague has been racing for a long, long time. He builds boat motors for a living. He builds boat parts for a living. He lives boat racing, you know? So Bob is kind of the bar.
Well, Phoenix, Ray Contreras is the owner, and they're a competitor.
We've always known, you know, every race we've been in against those guys, they're always really, really fast.
They did a lot of re-rigging over the winter. They did a lot of dialing in on the boat. They worked on the bottom of the boat. I think they've got all the speed out of it they can.
JB and Harry were actually working on this boat for like 2 weeks straight. I mean, we were at the end of our rope. We made many changes. We tested. We found so much more speed and acceleration out of the boat. We knew we could win that race.
Ray Contreras and Harry Clack were out testing their boat on Saturday, as we were, and they had an engine fail.
That Saturday morning we did 1 or 2 laps and then kaput. The engine died. And with it, all my hopes died. I says, all this work just went down the tubes. There's a gear drive that sits on the top of the engine there that that is held in by a boss, and that boss must have let go. And what happened was the gear that is connected directly to the oil pump fell off and stopped working. So thus we had no oil going to the engine, and the engine seized.
Bob, being who he is, you know, plans for every contingency and had a spare engine and offered them to use it.
You know, Bob came over. Bob's got a big heart, and he offered to loan us an engine. And there was initially there was some reluctance.
You know, not that I'm not appreciative of that. That was a huge move. Taking this motor was even a hard thing for us. And we talked about it. Ray said, "Oh, do whatever you want. You guys decide." I said, "Well, you know, the only sweet thing would be is if we took it, beat him with it."
The Phoenix Parts Boat, they blew a motor this morning, so we're going to loan them a motor.
Oh, very good.
Yeah. We want the competition, and we want everybody to make the show, and so we're going to loan them our spare. They're getting the other one ready to come out.
We're trying to disassemble everything so that we can reassemble the new motor or the replacement motor that we're getting. Probably talk about 5 or 6 hours to get it in.
Where they put me to do this one, 3/8. Yeah, and then we got to loosen the hydraulic pump up to get to one of the header bolts on this side.
The other thing we're going to have to get is that bracket that's on the air filter there, because I'm sure his engine doesn't have that bracket.
I was ready for you to bitch at me about all the extra stuff I bought, but now you can't say nothing. Is everything else disconnected to pull out? Yeah.
I'm going to run over there right now and give them the engine. We'll see how she works. Take your boat over to Rivers Bend Marina, that's Ed Smith's place, and let's change it.
We'll be lucky if we have enough time to run the engine before we put it in. So we'll see what happens. It's going to be a long ordeal from here. It's going to take about 6 hours to get this new engine in, and it'll be pitch black by then. We'll be exhausted, and then we got to go for physicals early in the morning. So we'll see what happens. When we're in the pits, we're all friends. We're all trying to help each other, and that's the way it is. So it's fine. It's very generous of him, and we appreciate it, and we hope to show our appreciation by kicking his ass on the race course.
Next on the Amsoil Offshore Powerboat Racing Series.
Again, I grew up in the garbage business, in the trash business, my whole life, done nothing else. And I'm very confident, and I like to talk trash.
Hey! How you doing, man?
I'm better than you. Boy, you guys got some plan, don't you? Looking pretty slow out there, Steve.
It's the way he lives his life. He talks trash.
The Amsoil Offshore Powerboat Racing Series is brought to you by Optima Batteries, the ultimate power source. Over in the wet pits, racer Jimmy Winters prepares himself to battle on the tricky race course that is the St. Clair River.
Again, I grew up in the garbage business, in the trash business, my whole life, done nothing else. And I'm very confident, and I like to talk trash.
Hey! How you doing, man?
I'm better than you.
Hello, Steve.
Looking pretty slow out there, Steve.
It's the way he lives his life. He talks trash.
Boy, you guys got some plan, don't you? If I had your boat, I'd cry to the finish line. Well, listen, if you're doing 130, you better go back to work because you're going to get an ass kicking if you always go 130.
Well, I guess I don't give a How's that?
You look a little timid out there, Mark. What's the matter?
A lot of times you can beat a guy before you even get to the water. You know, get inside the head.
He's such a almost larger than life character.
How'd you run? Look like Look at that.
Oh, man.
Don't let him tell you I'm not a tough son of a bitch.
You got that there?
That's this side, bro.
I got 9 screws, 2 plates, a lag bolt, and 2 feet of wire on this ankle. That's racing, baby. When it's on, it's on. I'm not interested in losing. I'm really not. I mean, it's very intense.
We're gonna have to run our ass off out there because, you know, I am not. Hey, I'm not losing to these dudes.
You have to be competitive. It's nice, it's great fun, everything, but you know, it's very competitive. It is. You're gonna have to take it somehow. If you're gonna take it from me the wrong way, you're stuck on stupid.
Race 1. the Super Cat class, 3 boats enter the St. Clair River for their chance at podium glory.
That green flag trying to get everybody lined up, but it looks like there was some lagging back here by Page. Green flag start. Here we go. There's the green flag start.
As the green flag flies, Talk and Trash, J.D. Byrider, and Suncoast go neck and neck into the first turn. Suncoast begins creeping out to the early lead. J.D. Byrider moves ahead with Talk and Trash right on their tail. Talk and Trash and Suncoast battle into the first turn. Talk and Trash takes the lead. Suncoast inches closer and moves into first. Meanwhile, J.D. Byrider stays back in third. Talk and Trash grabs the lead again. Suncoast refuses to let up and takes back first for the third time. The battle on the St. Clair River is about to begin. Suncoast continues leading the race, with Talk and Trash trailing behind in second. Suddenly, a mechanical failure forces Suncoast out of the race. Talk and Trash moves into first. At the checkered flag, Jimmy Winters of Talk and Trash takes the win. Next on the Amsoil Offshore Powerboat Racing Series.
Everybody here is a volunteer, and they're here because they love the sport. This job of having to turn these engines out,
When it comes down to it, really just enjoy spending time together. Male bonding.
The Amsoil Offshore Powerboat Racing Series is brought to you by Jarvis and by Cleveland Construction. Over at Evil Ed's Marina, the Cleveland Construction team works overtime to ready their boat before the start of the race.
Let me change my hat around. As a race site producer, a lot of guys, even racers, that come to a race site have no clue what goes on to put the event on. Everybody thinks you show up, you get a Coast Guard permit, you throw some pillows in the water, run around the course, and it's all over with, but it's not. It takes a year to get the permitting, townspeople, the mayor, the supervisors, the fire department, police department, everybody has to get together. So in St. Clair, my boat gets absolutely no attention.
We're going to put the thermocouple in on this side. We'll set it up right.
We've been having a little bit of an oil temperature problem on the boat. Too much oil temperature is bad, takes the bearings and stuff out, but you have to have some temperature. Well, we were running 300 degrees, and that's way too hot. Now we've got to dig further into the boat and find out why we've got a temperature issue, whether it's electrical or whether we got a hose or something like that that's plugging up on us.
There's just too many electrical gremlins that could be in this boat. And if he said what he said is doing it, you got to agree with me. It's electrical. It ain't Tim.
So now we're in a bilge, we're scurrying, taking this stuff apart, plus the other guys that go out and break their boats. We were changing motors.
As Evil Ed struggles to fix his own boat, other teams invade his marina with their own set of problems.
I got 8 foot, well, I even got a crane truck right there. I can do whatever you want. Actually, you can leave it right there. We can lift it out right there. I have a issue of my own. Right, so.
Well, you were right about your logistical timing.
Show me which one you got to take out.
Port side.
Oh, okay, your hatches go forward? Yep. Oh, hell, all right, hang on a minute.
For Team Phoenix Parts, changing out a blown motor with an engine borrowed from Bob T in less than 24 hours will be the ultimate challenge.
What happened to your engine?
Well, we're hoping that it's just a screwed up gauge. Pulled the pump out, pulled the strainer apart. The collar's good, strainer's clean. So we're thinking electrical.
Oh, here's Steve's truck. I hope there's a truck with the engine in it.
Bob Teague arrives at the marina with his spare engine in tow.
Everybody here is a volunteer, and they're here because they love the sport. This job of having to turn these engines out, change these engines out, is a really big job, especially in a short period of time. I really appreciate the crew that I have. They're great guys. They volunteer their time. I left the decision up to them. I said if they wanted to go home, I was fine with it. If they wanted to compete, I'm fine with it. Those are the type of guys that really love the sport and love what they're doing. And
all right, yeah, we'll just split the tailpipes, use those, plug those. We'll get. I need a couple of 3/8 pipe plugs.
3/8 pipe plugs.
Yeah. On the header. Yeah. And then we'll just.
You know, we'll work till 6 o'clock in the morning, whatever it takes to get this project done.
We're all family.
Yeah.
Wouldn't you kind of say that, Bob? We're all kind of like just a big family?
That's right. We're gonna make everybody proud at once.
So.
You want to make some family loans?
No. Come on in.
Ready? Go. Go.
Hey. On there? Yep. On.
When it comes down to it, really just enjoy spending time together. Male bonding.
The good thing about it is that they're swapping the same type of engine with the same type of rigging.
Well, what they're doing now is they're taking parts off the old motor to put on the new motor, and they're dressing it up to get ready to put in.
This is 5/8 deep right here. So is this.
What we'll do is they'll get the parts swapped up, they'll get it set back in the boat, and then we'll put it on we can fire it on a hose rather than set it in the water just to make sure there's no leaks or anything around the engine runs without any problems.
We'd be finished testing, and we'd be going over the data that we had and reviewing it to see exactly what setup we wanted to use for tomorrow.
Oh, they showed up at the dock and they were looking at it, and we went over there and seen what we could do to help.
And then sitting down and having a relaxing, enjoyable dinner. I don't think we're going to have that today.
It's camaraderie. We're all in this together. Hey, do you guys have any collector gaskets for these? Because we're going to need a pair. This is actually the fun part, believe it or not.
Next on the Amsoil Offshore Powerboat Racing Series.
On the downriver buoy is where most of the incidents have happened on this course.
There's a notorious turn. It's turn 3 and 4 at the south end of the river.
The Amsoil Offshore Powerboat Racing Series is brought to you by Amsoil, the first in synthetics. Sunday morning. The teams ready themselves for the big day of racing.
Pretty much we finalized and finished everything up this morning, but other than that, we got everything rock and rolling. We found a little hiccup this morning with our boat, but I think I made it home at 2 o'clock in the morning. And then back up at 6 o'clock this morning down here. Found out we had a water leak on one of our headers, but we got that repaired, so looks like we're in pretty good shape. No, I don't know. I just can't wait till the green flag goes up. That's when, you know, the adrenaline's flying. The waiting anticipation right now is driving me nuts, but I can't wait till we start moving the boat, heading on up.
Race 2, the 100 class. 4 boats line up for a chance at victory. At the green flag, Lightning Jacks, Cleveland Construction, and Geico race toward the first turn. Geico takes the early lead, followed by Lightning Jacks and Cleveland Construction. Lightning Jacks passes Geico for first and takes the lead. Geico moves up and challenges Cleveland Construction for second. Geico moves ahead in second. While the 100 class battles on the course, another class, Super Stock Outboard, battles in their race as well. Suddenly, on turn 3, Team Ringelberg gets caught up in the tricky current and crashes. A battle for life and death plays out in the cold waters of the St. Clair River. Miraculously, the racers exit their boat without injury. Meanwhile, back up front, Cleveland Construction struggles to stay up front with Lightning Jacks. Again, Lightning Jacks take the lead. Mechanical issues cause the Cleveland Construction team to withdraw from the race. Team Geico continues trailing behind Lightning Jacks in second. At the checkered flag, Lightning Jacks take the win. Next on the Amsoil Offshore Powerboat Racing Series.
I was ready for you to bitch at me about all the extra stuff I bought, but now you can't say nothing.
Well, I'm gonna run over there right now and give him the engine. We'll see how she works.
It's fine. It's very generous of him, and we appreciate it, and we hope to show our appreciation by kicking his ass on the race course.
The Amsoil Offshore Powerboat Racing Series is brought to you by Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance. The Amsoil Offshore Powerboat Racing Series is brought to you by Amsoil, the first in synthetics, and by Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance, and by Optima Batteries, the ultimate power source. In the final race of the day, Teams Amsoil and Phoenix Parts gear up for their long-awaited battle in St. Clair, Michigan. Race 3, Super Cat Light. 3 boats line up with dreams of a checkered flag. As the green flag flies, Phoenix Parts gets the early lead, followed by Amsoil in second and Infinity in third. Phoenix Parts continues leading the race with an eager Amsoil right behind. Amsoil closes in on Phoenix Parts. Phoenix Parts kicks it into gear and distances themselves from second. At the checkered flag, Phoenix Parts takes the win, followed by Amsoil in second and Infinity in third. For Phoenix Parts, this win is the first victory the team has had against Team Amsoil. As the weekend of racing comes to an end, the racers celebrate their victories and time spent here on the St. Clair River.
And you're going to see one.
A little disappointed that we had a little mechanical failure. We sheared the studs off that held our power steering pole. When we took off at the start, we're right up with Geico. We're right there with Lightning Jacks. I mean, I thought we were going to have one hell of a battle for the weekend. We broke the power steering pump off going in the third lap. I had no steering at all. It's just gremlin. What are you going to do? My heart dropped right out of my chest, right down to the floor. We were just devastated. I mean, we worked so hard during the week last night. Of course, you understand, you watched this, we were working until 1:30 in the morning. putting engines and fixing boats and everything else, getting everybody else ready. We went over our boat with a fine-tooth comb, and then how do we end up knowing that we break the studs off the park string? We finished the second today. Geico broke before we did, so we are the leader in the national high points. #1, so we are there. Long Island is going to be a battle. We have to win that one, which will turn around. Once we win it, that will secure our national championship.
Your winners, boat number 30, Talking Trash! They're back, baby, they're back!
Thanks to my team. I love my team. And Julia.
For racer Jimmy Winters, the win today was not just for him and his team, but also for his #1 fan.
Ocean City, Maryland. We crashed. Did I tell you we crashed? We crashed, man. We crashed bad.
It all started when me and Mr. Jimmy met in Cambridge, and he got in a big accident.
She was right there on the corner boat with her mom, so she saw me crash. About, I don't know, month, whatever time goes by. I got a letter from Julia, and it was a get well card.
I sent him a get well card.
It was very genuine. It was extremely inspirational for me. It made me feel like I had a good reason to go racing, and racing was a good thing, and it just turned my thought process around. And I was very grateful for that letter. You know, we've been friends since, and we are friends, and they're a good family, and I care for them deeply. It's my #1 fan.
I was really excited to have them sign the flag. They have won in first place.
You know, Bob just came up to me and said, "Hey, Smitty, what happened to you? You got your ass kicked today." Doug? What happened to you? I call him loser.
We just tried everything we could to dive bomb those corners and make up what we could against the Phoenix boat. And we just couldn't make up enough in the corners to, you know, make up the advantage that they had in the straightaway.
Even though I did them a big favor by giving them a motor, I expected them to go out and run their A game. And they ran their A game today.
It went well. We won the race. A lot of hard work paid off for a change. And we probably had the same setup, but we were able to accelerate them and maintain that lead on them. That's all we did. We focused what was in front and we didn't worry about what was behind us as long as it stayed there.
This is an update. They are actually pulling right now the engine that Bob gave them to give it back to him tonight, so they don't leave with it. So that's pretty upstanding of Ray and the PhoenixParts.com team. So congratulations for them to winning. Yes.
I do want to thank you, Bob. With his generosity, we were able to replace the engine, and we were able to win today. So thank you. Thank you very much.
I have to thank Bob Teague very much. We wouldn't have participated in this race if it wasn't for him. And he taught us well. So he raised the bar, and I hope we raise the bar a little farther, and hopefully he'll raise the bar even farther. So we look forward to the next race.
So congratulations to Ray and Harry. They did a fine job today.
And that's how it is. It's a camaraderie. It's unique to the sport, and it's especially unique to OPA because this is a camaraderie and a family that is like no other.